Okay, we have some breaking news now. Let's go to Argentina, where lawmakers are currently voting on President Javier Milei's flagship economic reform bill. Let's go straight to Teresa, who's in Buenos Aires for us. Teresa, so this vote, I believe, has just happened. What can you tell us?
Well, it's been an extremely tense day in Buenos Aires with protests on the streets, with violence. The voting, the Senate session lasted for over 12 hours, and the Senate just voted. It was a tie, 36 plus 30 against 36, and the Vice President, Victoria Villarruel, just defined that vote. She had a positive vote for this vote. She dedicated this law to the Argentinians, our workers who are struggling today, facing right now an extremely difficult economic situation in the country. Let's not forget that this law, the base law as it's known, has over 200 laws that are a trademark in a way for President Javier Milei. He tried to pass something similar earlier this year, which had around 600 laws. He brought it down to over 200. This includes, for example, privatization of state companies, the delegation of legislative powers for the president, giving foreign companies who invest in Argentina privileges so that in order to increase foreign investment in this country. However, there's been lots of concerns, especially among labor unions, among state workers, among pensioners and people who are struggling on the streets. Let's not forget what's happening in Argentina in this past year. Very harsh austerity measures implemented by the government, by the president, to bring down inflation, to cut down the deficit. And this is certainly something that the population on the streets is feeling, is suffering. And that's why today's vote is important. It's important because it's a first step for President Javier Milei to get, in a way, a roadmap, a legislative roadmap about what type of changes, what types of reforms he's going to carry out in this country. However, this was a general vote, what happened today. Now we're going to see during the evening what is known as the particular vote. Is going to be law by law that is going to be defined, and then this is going to be sent back towards the lower house. So this is not the end. This is just the beginning of a very long process, but definitely for President Javier Milei, it is extremely important for him to be able to carry out his reforms.
Right, but given the level of protest that we've been seeing up to this point, I mean, how do you expect people to react going forward?
Well, Argentina right now is extremely polarized. So Javier Milei continues to retain his approval. It's around 50%. He won the election with around 54% of the votes. And in spite of the very harsh austerity measures that he has implemented, he continues to retain the core of those who voted for him, especially because many people in Argentina are tired of what Milei calls the caste or the old politics. You know, people wanted things to change after years of stagnation, of inflation, among many other things. However, since Milei took office, he implemented harsh austerity measures. He devaluated the currency 50%. This generated inflation, lifted the subsidies. And this, of course, as I said before, is having a huge impact on the population. And those are the people that we saw on the streets this Wednesday, protesting against the president and against the law.
OK, thank you so much for the update. Teresa there for us in Buenos Aires.